Forbes recently published its annual list of billionaires and located that the amount of billionaires has dropped significantly due to the pandemic, and even among those still on the list, quite half saw their wealth decrease. There were 2,095 billionaires on the list when it had been finalized on March 18, consistent with the business website. That was 58 fewer billionaires than last year and 226 fewer than at the start of the month, Forbes reported. All 2,095 billionaires are worth about $8 trillion, which is $700 billion, but they did in 2019, consistent with Forbes. Of course, with the markets in flux due to the coronavirus, each billionaire's net worth also fluctuates counting on the day. To ascertain how each of the 2,095 billionaires are faring every day, Forbes also created a real-time net worth tracker. In its overall report, the website also found that the country with the foremost billionaires was the U.S., with 614. China followed in second place, with 456 billionaires. It also reported that 267 people that were billionaires last year are not any longer billionaires, and 178 new people have reached billionaire status this year. To see which individual billionaires were at the highest of the list, here are the 10 richest people within the world and where they're from, consistent with Forbes' list of the richest in 2020. 10. Rob Walton. U.S. Rob Walton, 75, was worth about $54.1 billion on March 18, consistent with Forbes. Walton is the eldest son of the founding father of Walmart, Sam Walton, and served because the chairman of the corporate from 1992 until 2015. 9. Alice Walton. U.S. members of the Walton family are pictured in 2018. From left to right: Jim Walton, Alice Walton, Jim's wife Lynn McNabb Walton, Rob Walton's wife Melanie Lomond Walton, and Rob Walton. Photo by Rick T. Wilking. Getty Images. Alice Walton, 70, was worth $54.4 billion on March 18. She is Sam Walton's only daughter and is additionally the richest woman on Forbes' 2020 list. 8. Jim Walton. U.S. Jim Walton, 71, was the richest Walton on March 18 with a net worth of $54.6 billion. Consistent with Forbes, Jim Walton gave away $1.2 billion in Walmart in June last year, but kept his wealth due to a 44% stake in Harvest Bank. 7. Mark Zuckerberg. U.S. Digital Trends editor-in-chief Jeremy Kaplan discusses Mark Zuckerberg's wealth rising by $27 billion in 2019 and California's new digital privacy law. Video. Mark Zuckerberg, 35, was worth $54.7 billion on March 18. Zuckerberg founded social media site Facebook in 2004. 6. Amancio Ortega. Spain. Amancio Ortega, 84, was the wealthiest clothing retailer within the world on March 18, with a net worth of $55.1 billion, consistent with Forbes. In 1975 he and his ex-wife Rosalia Murrah founded Inditex, which is best known for the style chain Zara, Forbes reported. 5. Larry Ellison. U.S. Larry Ellison, 75, was worth $59 billion on March 18. In 1977, he founded Oracle, a software company, and today he's the chairman of the board and therefore the chief technology officer. 4. Warren Buffett. U.S. Warren Buffett, 89, was worth $67.5 billion on March 18. Buffett is one among the foremost successful investors of all time, consistent with Forbes. He also runs Berkshire Hathaway, which owns quite 60 companies. 3. Bernard Arnault and family friends. Bernard Arnault was worth $76 billion on March 18, consistent with Forbes. Bernard Arnault and his family were worth $76 billion on March 18. Arnault is the CEO of luxury goods company LVMH, which incorporates Louis Vuitton and Sephora brands. Last year, the corporate bought Tiffany & Company for $16.2 billion, which might be the most important luxury brand acquisition, Forbes reported. 2. Gates. U.S. Bill Gates is pictured in 2017. He was worth $98 billion on March 18, consistent with Forbes. Reuters. Pierre Bailly. Bill Gates, 64, was worth $98 billion on March 18, consistent with Forbes. Gates and his wife Melinda chair the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is the largest private charitable foundation within the world, Forbes reported. 1. Jeff Bezos. As CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos was worth $113 on March 18, consistent with Forbes. Jeff Bezos, 56, is the richest man within the world, despite transferring quarter of his Amazon stake to his ex-wife Mackenzie last summer, consistent with Forbes. He was worth $113 billion on March 18.